for the homeless children in D.C., but throughout the country. There's over 2 million people, 2 million children, pardon me, homeless. And my take on that is if multinational corporations can get together and foster a war across the globe, killing millions of children, we can at least save the 2 million here in America. That's my take on it. I'm not going to beat y'all upside the head with that. That Hennessy got him. Right. He's on the Baltimore the long way. I was a comedian before I was Professor Griff, the leader of S1W. But anyway, now sometimes laughter helps you digest the truth. But short story starting with yeah, we're gonna digest that laugh real quick so we can. You know, you gotta transition into something serious. But on a serious note, I'm involved in this ongoing project called Books and Beats. And simply put, it's bringing the author and authors and publishers together with the DJ, with the club, with you, with food, all in one room, and create an atmosphere where we can at least celebrate the authors. There's people out there with books in them, and already books on the shelf that you've written, but no one knows about it. Why can't we celebrate the author like we do the dude coming out with his album?
Right.
Are you following me?
Woo!
So we can demonstrate to young people that, you know, we are capable of being authors and publishers. And we do have something to say. Everyone in this room have a book in them. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Now, you may not have the means to get it out, but there's people out there that have businesses that can help you get the book out of you. Tell your story. Your story is just as important as mine. Are you following me?
That's right.
It's just that mine spans over 20 years of being in the industry. And I've been in the industry longer than that. But since I started doing those interviews that I thought was worthy enough to be in a book, to pass this on to other people so you can learn get your life lesson learning from Professor Griff's life lesson. Are you following me? Now, some of what I wrote may touch your life. Some of it you might say, okay, well, okay, that's cool. That was his plight. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
But I want to let y'all know that I'm no different from any person sitting out there. I grew up in the hood. I'm the 7th son, the 12th child, 13. You understand what I'm saying? I wore somebody else's sneakers and clothes for a long time. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
When I graduated high school, barely got out of high school because it wasn't interesting me. You all right? You're quite hostile. All right, listen. I got a right to be hostile. Spent 2 weeks in college. And I said to myself, sitting there watching this individual lie to me, and I got to pay my money to these people, I walked out. I said, to hell with this. I'm not going to pay these people to lie to me. So from that day forward, that's when I became Professor Griff.
Woo!
Started studying everything I could get my hands on, I read. I didn't have to go to prison to become Muslim and read books like a lot of us do. I'm not knocking them. If that's where you got to get it, that's where you got to get it. It didn't take that for me. You understand what I'm saying? So I started reading, studying, and I became this very analytical kind of brother that read between the lines. And then the first time I got together and started putting the army together, we bum rushed the clubs, we bum rushed wherever they was having a party, and we took the mic. Are you following me? I did my little 7 minutes with the S1Ws around me, and we bounced. That's just the way it was. They wasn't going to say shit. You understand what I'm saying? So that's when that whole thing started. So we started securing the parties that Hank Shockley, Keith Shockley. You remember Dr. Dre from MTV? Fat Dre or Dre and a couple of other people that we was hooked up with, original concept. And we started, doing the parties and that kind of thing. And that morphed into me setting up this thing called Unity Force, which what we was doing, and don't tell nobody this. Ain't no cops in here, is it? Good. We started robbing drug dealers. Now, I know that's kind of unorthodox from the other stuff I was doing, but we needed money. And we kind of figured, we said, yo, shut the shit down or we'll shut it down. Are you following me? They continued their business, so that's when we started our business. I'm talking about ski masks and all. So with that money, though, we took that money back to the youth center to build the youth center so we can educate brothers coming out of prison. Now, I know that may not sound too cool.
That is cool.
But it's just something that...
right.
I put it in the book, man. That's just my story. You understand what I'm saying? It's something that we had to do so I can reach you today. Are you following me? Luckily, nobody got killed. Nobody went to jail kind of thing. They just got a couple of bumps and bruises. But anyway, we hooked up with a crew called the 98 Posse. Y'all heard that on one of our songs. We hooked up with the 98 Posse. Those were the dudes. Y'all don't know any of them, but those are the dudes, Parkside crew, and those are the dudes I was tapped into. Interesting story, we had a skating ring in Roosevelt, Long Island. A place, the center, the youth center, and the skating ring is where we hung out. Roosevelt is only 1 square mile. It's an interesting kind of vortex, you know why? Because Julius Erving, Dr. J, comes from Roosevelt. Eddie Murphy, 2 members of Guy, Public Enemy, all from 1 square mile.
Woo!
You understand what I'm saying? So we had the youth center and the skating ring. Cats from Brooklyn came out, was causing trouble at the skating ring. In Roosevelt, that was a no-no. Are you following me? By the time they left, we cut the fucking highway off and searched for their ass. Are you following me? That's how treacherous Roosevelt was. Now, you may not even heard of Roosevelt. Are you following me? Eddie claims to be from Brooklyn. Dr. J claims to be from Hempstead, which is a lie. They're from Roosevelt, Long Island. Are you following me? So that morphed into Chuck coming to the party, sitting out in the audience, like y'all are sitting out in the audience. Myself, Keith Shockley, and Hank Shockley, which was Spectrum City that became the Bomb Squad.
Yeah.
We do music like Soyo's doing music tonight, and Chuck was in the audience. He was even part of the crew. Every now and then we let him get on the mic. You understand what I'm saying? Chuck was saying the same story. Chuck and Hank went to Adelphi University, and that's when Rick Rubin, Jam Master Jay really, was Jam Master Jay the one that was calling Adelphi to see who's this cat with this dynamic voice on the air from Adelphi University. And that's how Chuck was going to get the deal with Def Jam. Chuck turned the deal down. They wanted him to do the Chuck E. D show, which he said was corny. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now listen, Chuck and Flavor used to work for Chuck's dad moving furniture.
What?
So to keep Flavor out of trouble, Chuck gave Flavor a job with his dad. Flavor was selling drugs and stealing cars. You understand what I'm saying? So brought him up, gave him a show. Flavor had this thing called the Flavortrons on the Adelphi University radio station.
Wow.
So Flavor was out in the street one day and heard some dude talking about Chuck. He ran back up to the radio station to tell Chuck, and if you listen to Public Enemy #1, what you hear on that record is exactly what Flavor told Chuck that day, and we made Public Enemy #1.
Wow.
Def Jam was interested. They wanted to sign Chuck. Chuck said no, so Chuck came back in the hood, got Flavor, and got myself. And then I reached out to Terminator X, which was originally Keith Shockley of the Bomb Squad. And then Keith didn't want the job, so I went and got Norman, who's the Terminator X that y'all know.
Right.
And then from that point on, the 107 men and women that I had in my crew, I brought them in as the S1Ws. Me and Chuck gave names to everything, and from my experience in the FOI, being in the Fruit of Islam, Mosque #7 in New York, I trained the brothers in martial arts, and we did this little drill that the FOI do, and we kind of said we was just going to do something different. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a critical thing, man, when we got the siren going, lights, you know, we coming out there, you understand what I'm saying? And by the time we hit the center stage, we was boom, back cutting corners and whatnot. And people was like, what the hell is this? Because they'd never seen anything like that.